Set you right there. Set you right here. We got 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, that boy, that's a delay. All good, all good. We are going to jump in regardless. What's good, everybody? Happy New Comic Book Day. Welcome to another FEPIC New Comic Book Day. Pretty self-explanatory. It's New Comic Book Day, so we're bagging and boarding new books. We're gonna jump in, talk a little bit about some indies, some of the drops from Marvel this week, some of the drops from DC this week. We had first appearances from both publishers and a couple new issue number ones on the indie side of things that I'm definitely stoked to talk about. If you guys have not already, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow. If you're watching on Facebook, in the description of this episode, there will be a link to our YouTube. Please follow that link, give us a subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go on live. Same with IG. IG, same thing. It's always link in the bio. Do me a favor, subscribe, show that love. Before we jump in, I always ask this every week, what's at the top of the list? All right, what's at the top of the list for you guys this week? Let me know in the comments. It can be a cover buy, it can be a story buy, it could be like a blind, like this is just the title popped, so I grabbed it. I wanna know what stood out to you before it even hit your hands, okay? All right, with that in mind, let's jump into things. What's good, Luther? What is good? Let's jump into the FEPIC Indie of the Week. Makes it easy. We're gonna go straight to Count Dante from Scout Comics. Let's hit you with the team first here. JC Barbour and Wes Watson with Paula Goulart on the color. This is Count Dante, the unauthorized but sort of true story of the deadliest man who ever lived. All right, that alone should intrigue you, right? It says, you remember those iconic comic book ads of the 1970s? Now you're speaking to a younger generation or an older gen, but anyways, but you know the story behind them. John Timothy Keenan returned home to Chicago, a Vietnam veteran, ready to make a name for himself in martial arts. But what he found was a hard town run by the outfit. So Keenan and his old war buddy, Sidney Brown, set forth on a plan that would turn the nice Irish boy from Beverly, Chicago, into the most vicious, hairdressing, car-selling, cape-wearing karate master that ever lived. Okay, I mean, that sells it, man. That sounds it. Count Dante from Scout Comics. That will be our FEPIC Indie of the Week. I mean, why is it our FEPIC Indie of the Week? One, it sounds fun, right? It does sound fun. Two, this screams, pick me up. This screams option, baby. It's got that like Tarantino hint, you know what I mean? With the vibe of how it's written and broken down, as well as the character approach. I dig it. And you will too. Swoop that up. Issue number 1. That's your FEPIC Indie of the Week. Count Dante from Scout Comics. All right, throw that there. Up on the rock right there. That's your direct edition Frank Miller Wolverine issue number 1. Take it back to 1982 right there, yeah? Okay, let's jump into the FEPIC covers of the week. Much like last week, I've got 2 covers. I'm gonna need your help to decide what should be the FEPIC cover of the week. Now, the FEPIC cover of the week doesn't mean it is the best cover of the week. Who knows what the best cover of the week? That's really up to you to decide. But in terms of under the FEPIC household, these are our options, and shocking. It came down to Extreme Venomverse issue number 1. Let's hit you with it closer here. Extreme Venomverse issue number 1, and that is, wouldn't you know it, a Peach Momoko variant. That hits, yes please. Why does that hit? Well, it's because it's Peach. But 2, you also have your first cover, or a cover appearance of the first issue we featured of the character that is also featured as a first appearance inside the title. So first appearance inside the pages, cool. But then you've also got a badass cover of said Venom Samurai or Samurai Venom. We'll get there. Extreme Venomverse issue number 1. That is your option, cover A, if you will, for cover of the week. FEPIC cover of the week. You guys gotta decide in the comments. What's good, Joseph? What's good, Luther? Appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, there's FEPIC cover option number 1, right? What do we got here? Ooh. Batman, the Killing Joke, first print. You guys gotta have at least one of those, right? There's like 5, 6, 7 prints of that book, but if you get your hands on the first, I guarantee you it won't look as clean as that copy. Hit us up, I've got it there for 65. Okay, keep it pushing. The other candidate for cover of the week, God, we are a little choppy here. Internet not playing very nice? Whatever. Okay, let's go second option, cover B, for the FEPIC cover of the week. And this cover is actually a part of a title that was written, created, illustrated, everything done by Syymon Kudranski. And that is your Nintendo Something Epic variant from Image Comics. And I've seen a couple of these the last few weeks, right? Over the course of like the last month, there's been Nintendo variants, right? Showing love to your regular NES bit 8 days, right? And I just hadn't actually seen one in my hand, right? And I saw them online, and they were like, all right. But this one jumped. Obviously, you've got multiple references to the gaming as well, but I need it. So with that, and it's a completely different vibe, feel, texture, approach than your Peach Momoko cover. So let's throw some contrast out there, give you some options. That is Something Epic or FEPIC, issue number 1, and that is your Nintendo variant. All right, let's keep it pushing. That was the covers first of the week. Oh, let's just go. Perfect segue from a cover option to the FEPIC first issue of the week. Let's hit you one more time with it, but this time the cover A. This is Something Epic, issue number 1. What is Something Epic, man? Let me we hit you with a little synop here. Usually I have these all dialed up and pulled ahead if I had not had a chance to read the actual issue. But today we on the fly because it is a multitask day. It's a match day, which if you guys have tuned into anything FEPIC, you know I'm a big Timbers fan. Also a big United fan, but here in Portland on match day, I mean, things gotta get adjusted so you can make the match. Okay, here we go. Series premiere. Outside our perception, creative thought takes physical form, with only a handful of individuals known as epics, able to interact with the wondrous hidden world. But for 14-year-old Danny Dillon, accepting these responsibilities himself won't be easy or safe. Lose yourself in a world of endless fantasy and creativity where superheroes, monsters, magical creatures, and cartoon characters live, breathe, and die alongside us. Fan favorite Spawn and Punisher artist Syymon Kudranski introduces a world where the only limitation is your imagination. 32 pages, Something Epic, issue number 1. That is the FEPIC indie number 1 of the week, or not indie number 1, just the FEPIC first issue of the week. Swoop that up, okay? What's good, IG? Thanks for kicking it. Let's get you back. There we go. Here's that ugly mug. He says swoop, Something Epic second cover, extreme swoop, got you. Yep. proper swoops. Proper swoop on the second cover. That would be the cover A, actually. Not the Nintendo cover is what you're referencing. So I'll throw that up there first, and then we will get your name on there. Proper swoop, Joseph. Proper swoop. Boom, boom. There you go. Something Epic issue number 1. I've got 2 copies left of that cover A and only 1. That is the only copy I have of that Nintendo variant because those things, they go. I mean, kind of speaks for itself, right? Little ASM 607. You know who's on that cover. You know who's on that cover as well as you know who did the cover. Okay. Keep it pushing. You're always tickling my fancy with your strange books, man. That's what we like to do here. That is what we like to do here. We like to tickle fancies and hopefully it feels strange. Especially with the indie books. I know if you've tuned into anything FEPIC or this is your first time watching anything FEPIC, I definitely lean heavier time-wise, focus-wise on independent books. But some weeks, like the big boys just drop like a crazy amount of books and you just feel like you're spending most of your time on DC and Marvel. That was Marvel last week. Okay, on to the next. I do have like 4 more indies I want to get into before the end of this episode, right? But in the meantime, we'll keep it pushing on the FEPICs, right? The FEPIC list. Yeah. Okay, let's jump into it. It is the FEPIC Key of the week. Cue the freaking graphic. The computer just died. That sucks. I'll plug it in so I can see you guys' faces. But what we have here, Batman Incorporated, issue number 8. Yes, that is your cover A. Who is on the cover? That's the crew. That's like pretty much the full first team and individuals. You got individuals that you've met already through Batman Inc. But now we're getting to know everyone. We get to see everybody in Joker Inc. He's like, anything you can do, I can do better and a little bit more maniacal and fucked up. All right, with that, let me just throw you to the Joker Inc. page where he's introducing the squad. What we got? We've already met Bronco, Alpaca, Corvus Cowl, Joker, Die Laughin', Tap Dance, as well as, what's this fool's name? Charles de Gaulle? Okay, anyways, there you have it. Batman Incorporated, issue number 8. And that is your cover A because, well, there's rules to this. If there's gonna be first appearances, yeah, sure, go swoop up some variants, go swoop up, if it's a first cover appearance, that makes a lot of sense, but always track down an A, all right? Do yourself a favor, follow these rules, and you'll be just fine. Proper. Okay, Batman Inc., issue number 8, cover A. Swoop that up there. What do we got here? Oh, it's a twofer. Speaking of indies, man, this was like the comic industry's Black Mirror is what everyone was rolling with. And this also has this could easily be optioned for a series just like Black Mirror. So jump on it, Apple. This is New Thing. Issues 1 and 2, cover A, first prints. 12 on the set. All right, let's plug you back in because, oh, you just took a fall? You did. Because you were not charged. You said you were charged, but you were not charged. Show us your face. All right, what is next? We've gotten through the FEPIC Indie of the week. We've gotten through the FEPIC covers of the week. Well, you have to decide what the FEPIC covers are in the comments. I want to know. We've gotten through the FEPIC first issue. We've gotten through the FEPIC Key. Now we're going to jump inside the books, inside the panels, to the meat. And I'm going to hit you with the FEPIC panel of the week.
Not shocking. This is gonna come from issue number 11 of Chip Zidarsky's Daredevil. It's been quite the run as we wind down Chip Zidarsky's run on this particular title, but it's been a lot of fun. As if you've been tuned in from the beginning, Matt and Elektra have had quite the time. But this is panel of the week, so let me just get right to it. There is a secondary Iron Fist story in this, which is actually pretty fun. But let me hit you with the gruesomeness. Okay, so I'm gonna lead in a little bit here. Let me show you what I'm willing to do to prove my loyalty. This is Matt speaking. And here we go, panel of the week. Shink! Yo, what? What? Dude pulls out his eyeballs. Yeah, sure he's blind. Sure he's blind, but like he removed his eyeballs. Oh my goodness. This this issue ended like what is going on right now? Absolute madness. But you know, you can't downplay it. You can't downplay it. That when that madness hits you, it hits in one panel. Therefore, it is the FEPIC panel of the week. That is Chip Zidarsky, Rafael Letorre, as well as Matthew Wilson. Did I just Rafael de la Torre? Don't want to be disrespectful. And Wilson on the coloring. Again, Daredevil has been such a great ride. It's hard to sway me regardless of who the creative team is. But Chip Zidarsky's done such a good job. Anyways, swoop on the brutalness. That is your FEPIC panel of the week. That is Daredevil issue number 11, cover A. Okay, let's turn you back on. Maybe we can see people's faces again. And by faces, I mean names. No? Okay. Take your sweet effing time then. Okay. We've made it through the FEPICs. Y'all are still kicking it tough, right? I appreciate you. If you have not already, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Hit the bell so you know when we go live. If you're watching on Facebook, in the description of this episode is a link to our YouTube. Please follow the link, hit subscribe over on that YouTube, as well as, just like Facebook, hit the bell so you know when we go live. All kinds of cool little content. IG, you know where it is. Links in the bio, okay? And if you're already on YouTube watching this, much appreciated. All right? What if you are watching this from YouTube, man, in the comments below, let me know where you're tuning in from. We love knowing who from around the country or world for that matter is tuned in, kicking it with us. Okay, here we go. Jumping in. Next up, this is your cover A of Extreme Venomverse. Again, think of it as Spider-Verse, so you're gonna get a lot of alternates, but in those alternates, every once in a while, one of them sticks. I'm game for Samurai Venom though. I'm definitely game for that. Swoop that up. That is your cover A. Cover A, as I pull down your Extreme Venomverse Peach Momoko variant, as well as your Something Epic issue number 1. Those were your those were battling it out. Those were duking it out for the FEPIC covers of the week. But you guys get to decide that. You just don't want to connect? No? Say word. Okay. All right, so much Spider-Man. So before we jump into more Spider-Man, let's jump into, I tried to get my hands on a couple of these last week and I failed miserably. Therefore, they made the pile this week and I'm not mad about it. Get yourself a facsimile copy of the original first appearance of Poison Ivy. That's Batman 181. Dope little throwback. Gotta love the facsimiles. Gotta love all the print as well as ads that are in here. That's the joy of a facsimile, because those reprints, you know, you don't always get ad for ad, page for page, everything, right? But this hit you with that time. Hit you with that time. Where are we at? Likes your post. Declined. Oh, shocking. Shocking. Okay. How was Free Comic Book Days? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Popped around to a few different shops, got to support some local mom and pops. Obviously, shout out to Excalibur. Shout out to, it was called Cloud9, but because of some, God, I think it's legal drama with another shop, also called Cloud9. They are now called Tasty Cat. And I love it, Tasty Cat Comics. So shout out to Tasty Cat Comics, Excalibur, Cosmic Monkey, and of course, you know, Things from Another World, always hooking it up. I've got some signed issues from Joshua Williamson on the Dawn of DC Free Comic Book Day introduction to Josh Williamson's new, like, basically DC arc, as well as the first issue of Green Arrow. I'm like, what did he just drop? Green Arrow. So if you guys are interested in signed copies of those, got a couple of those as well. Okay, keep it pushing. Here we go. DC for DC, that is your FEPIC key of the week. Yes, I just told you there were other keys, but I mean, we got a whole squad, a whole team of jokers. What's not to love? Okay, speaking of another issue that could have made the FEPIC key list, let's jump into Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis. Okay, 2099 Dark Genesis. I told y'all to swoop this up when the first issue dropped because there were 2 cameos-ish, right? Of Carnage 2099 and Blade 2099. Well, in this issue, it's on now. We're getting full Blade 2099. You can call me Blade. Thank goodness we're not gonna use the 2099, but yep. Love it, love it. So we're gonna call that the first full appearance of Blade 2099. Swoop that up, Spider-Man 2099 Dark Genesis. Oh. Got that Daredevil, you go right there. Second cover got you on something epic. Got you on the Extreme Venomverse Swoop. Yep. To backtrack a little bit regarding Free Comic Book Day, I know a lot of people, it's tough. It's tough to get out. Not to mention, once you do get out, some shops were, shops are having a hard time. It's Free Comic Book Day, but you got to keep in mind, shops do pay for these books. They pay for these books to try and bring you folks in. And the idea is, while you're picking up these free books out of love, you'll also take a moment to look around the shop and hopefully pick up some other things as well. So again, to keep in mind, for next year, Free Comic Book Day, sure, it is about getting a bunch of free comics, but ultimately it is about supporting your mom and pop businesses because they need us, right? They need us. If by chance there are specific Free Comic Book Day covers you did not acquire, hit us up. We still have, we still got some copies. I actually do have, I think, what are we, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 full sets, right? If you're interested in a run of like 10 plus books from Free Comic Book Day, like I said, you didn't get your hands on anything, you know what to do. Hit us up in the comments or DM the page. We can get that sent out to you, right? We can get that sent out to you. Okay, what did we just do? More Spider-Man? All right, let's slide back into the indie side of things. Let's go Mark Miller, Olivia Coppel. We've had a different visual creative team on each issue of this book. This is the ambassadors from Mark Miller and Image Comics. But again, each issue is kind of introducing you to a new power, if you will, while still obviously following up with the folks we've already met and kind of expanding on that. Issue 3 was absolutely bonkers. Again, if you guys have not jumped into the ambassadors, now is the time. You're only 4 issues deep. It will be a little bit tougher to track down that first issue, at least on a first print basis. Even the second print has already gone up. But if you guys need help with that, you know what to do. I got you. We've got 1 set left of the 1 through 4, and I think we do have a couple random scattered as well out in the wild. So with that in mind, Swoop Swoop, Ambassadors issue number 4. I think this is actually okay. So the cover is also done by Olivia Coppel, as well as coloring from Ryan Sook. Love it. Ambassadors issue number 4. If you guys want to know a little bit more about Ambassadors, I mean, we've covered it on past episodes, so you know what to do. Slide over to the YouTube, check out the past episodes. But just as a quick recap, more or less, superpowers have been created, and now they are going to bestow these powers upon 6 different individuals from around the world. More to come. Okay. There's your Venomverse. All right, the conclusion. About 3 years ago, I told you guys, Geoff Johns and Gary Frank were working on a project that I really thought had some traction. Really well written, amazing pacing. Obviously, the interior work just was amazing. It just popped. It popped every time, especially as it started to gain traction. You started seeing a bunch of more variant covers, as well as all the variants hit. Like it became a thing. So if you have not read Geiger, jump on. Amazing run, right? And there's time. It's not like you're too deep into it. But we're going to expand on that universe with Junkyard Joe. And this is actually the last issue of that run from Junkyard Joe. I do highly recommend picking up anything from Geiger or Junkyard Joe. This is issue number 6. Junkyard Joe, issue number 6. Cover A. Again, Geoff Johns, Gary Frank, Brad Anderson. I mean, shout out to Geoff Johns, man. Like, talk about a dude who, like, shook it off. Just shook it off. You're having all the drama in the world, and you got to deal with all the flack from online and just the conventions and blah, 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 fans in general about the DCEU and just where it went or where it didn't go. Just more or less, I love knowing that he can stroll right back into the realm of comics and just knock it out the park. Anything these two together touch in terms of Johns and Frank, I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right there along the way. Y'all should too. Swoop, swoop, swoop. Okay. Where'd I beat at? Another indie title that I recommend. You're not deep at all. You do have time. I've got extra copies of issues. Ooh, I think I've got a couple left of issues 2. Obviously 3 just dropped, but this, a lot of fun. Scott Snyder, Francis Manapul. This is Clear, issue number 3. This is Clear, issue number 3. And Francis Manapul continues to just absolutely knock it out the park with the interior work. Just gorgeous palette. Absolutely love it. Again, Dark Horse Comics. Scott Snyder, Francis Manipul. This is Clear. See the world differently. That's my tag for it. See the world differently. If you want to know more, you know what to do. Check out those past episodes. We talk a lot about issues 1 and 2. There is your Batman 181 facsimile. First Silver Age appearance of Poison Ivy. First Silver Age appearance, Poison Ivy. Swoop that up. Swoop, swoop. Okay. Cindy Moon. Next up is a title that no matter what or when, I will always acquire. It does help, I guess just me. It does help that it's generally only in a small, like, limited series, but it always seems to be just right. It always seems to be just right. I don't need too much, right? We get a lot from the Spider-Verse. So when we do come across the Path of Cindy Moon and Silk, it is always worth a swoop, okay? Always worth a swoop, always worth a read. This is, I think, what are we on, like volume 6 now? And we have Al Ewing writing it, so sign me up. Again, you've got a talented scribe like that. Yo, I need it. Silk, issue number 1, cover A. Okay. All right, next up from Rodney Barnes, Alexis Len and Lewis Knott. This is Monarch issue number 4. Monarch issue number 4 from Image Comics. This is again another one of those indies that I gave you the wink like 2 or 3 times, right? Probably 2 weeks in a row, where I encouraged you heavily to swoop up issues 1 and issues 2 of this series. It has a lot of potential. It's very endearing. Obviously, you got a young boy basically up against the world. We'll just say that. Aliens and the world. This is Monarch, issue number 4. Nope, that was Joe. We just got there. There we are. Clear? Sure. We're sprinting. Okay. And finally, the last issue that we're gonna focus on this episode, right? Always more episodes to come. Always other new books that we want to cover during a FEPIC New Comic Book Day. But generally, I'm trying to keep these, between a half hour and an hour, rather than, run them on like the 2.5 hours we used to. I like to talk, man. I like books. Okay. With that in mind, we're gonna close it out on, people keep trying to make this controversial. Where's the controversy other than it's a big old, other than it's just taking too long? This is ASM, what are we? ASM 25 or 919. And as you can tell by the cover, as it has been for the last however many issues, we're trying to figure out what the hell's going on with Mary Jane. This time period, this lost time period, the husband, the kids, what's going on? And they keep saying, they've been dragging it on for the last couple of issues about we're gonna get the whole picture. Well, we haven't gotten the whole picture yet. I don't even know if we get the whole picture this issue. God, I hope so, because I would love Zeb. Let's move forward. Let's keep it pushing, okay? Let's keep it pushing. ASM issue number 25. It is a double issue. It's a big old beast of a book, really. And we'll set it right there. And with that, take my snot rag, put it back in my sweatshirt like you never saw it, and we'll keep it pushing. Okay. No, I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect. I think we're gonna wrap things up and take a break. This has been another FEPIC New Comic Book Day. I appreciate y'all kicking it. As always, if you have not already, what do I wanna say? Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Hit the bell so you know when we go live. If you're on Facebook, link is in the description to take you to our YouTube. Rinse and repeat. Subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. IG, you're always kicking it tough. The link is always in the bio. Make it so. If there's anything that you guys were looking for that you did not see during this episode, feel free to reach out. We either got it just sitting here to the stack, or we get to wander out into the wild and find it for you. All right, y'all. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.
Let's boogie.